So the Shoot House map has been around for a couple of weeks now, and those of us like myself have dedicated quite a bit of time in the Shoot House 24/7 playlist. We've gotten to learn the ins and outs of this map. We've gotten some time to digest it, and the map is not without its issues. It does have some issues that I hope gets taken care of in a future update, because I feel like this is such a good map. It does have some wonky spawns here, so you will find yourself getting spawn killed quite a bit in game modes like Headquarters and Domination. And despite the fact that this is a 3-lane map, it is not without the tons of clutter immersed in between it, and of course the multiple lines of sight. But in spite of all of that, I did manage to come up with a few helpful hints to increase your survival rate and to ultimately help you get better at navigating the map. Now, if you find this information useful and you're not subscribed to the channel, please do me a solid, drop a like for this video. Feel free to hit that subscribe button and turn on all post notifications so that you don't miss a beat from me when I drop these videos. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So first things first, you'll want to make yourself a run and gun class setup, and this is what I'm rocking with. Now, I have the MP5 because it is my favorite SMG in the entire game, and for my secondary weapon, not to be endorsing it, but I am running the 725. You guys, please forgive me, but this weapon has become so toxic in this game that in order to compete with it, you pretty much have to fight fire with fire. Now, I'm just going to leave it at that because I don't want to get too much into detail about my class setup. I haven't made any best class setup videos. I haven't gotten into it because I'm still messing around with attachments, and there's already so many of them going around anyway. But this is just a general outlook of what I tend to run on Shoot House. Next, unless you are very proficient at abusing the C4 charge, then I would highly advise you running either the Semtex or the frag grenade in your lethal equipment. They will come in very handy. I feel like they serve a better purpose than any other lethal equipment in the game, especially since you turn corners and you've got people that are just there head glitching and just using the clutter within the map to their advantage. You know, I can't really blame those guys because they're hella smart in doing that. And as far as your other equipment, I would highly suggest your flash or your stun. I would suggest using a flash because, like I said, you've got people that are peeking corners and they more than likely are using 725 shotguns. I would highly advise using a flash so that way you can hurry up and rush them, clear them out, and make a move. You're gonna have a lot of corner camping crack cores on this map, and you want to be able to use all of your equipment to your advantage. When you have them, it's there. Make use of them, maximize it. Next up, and I feel like this is the most important tip in the video because this can actually be applied across every map in every game mode within Modern Warfare, but nonetheless, I do see a lot of people making this fatal mistake. Now, as explained earlier, Shoot House is a 3-lane map, and it can almost be considered the Nuketown of Modern Warfare. So with that, you'll want to play accordingly and you'll want to act as such. Do not be that guy that veers off alone and tries to be Superman. Now, unless you're one of those balls to the wall players that has the greatest reflexes of all time, do what you will. But if you're still trying to get adjusted to the game, rotate with your teammates, especially with the high level of head glitching and camping, and then of course the load time to kill. You know, veering off alone is one of the worst things you can do, especially when you walk into an ambush. Now, I know when you're playing solo, it is hard to have that trust in your teammates, especially when it comes to enemy gunfire, but that's one of the few places you can trust them in, is that eventually they're going to lead you to that enemy gunfire. Especially if you have that one noob on your team that's going to rush a spot that he probably shouldn't have, that will give you more than enough concrete evidence to engage or disengage as necessary. But once again, this is the one time, just have that little faith in your teammates and don't try to be the Superman don't try to be that guy that goes out and does too much. You do not want to be the Russell Westbrook of your team. For my next tip, and this is another tip that could be applied across all game modes and across all maps within Modern Warfare. Hell, it could be applied across all of Call of Duty in general, but I feel like it holds entirely true to this here map. Do not go back to the same spot that you were just killed in. Alright, do not do it unless your team is rotating over there. Like I said, I know it should be common sense when you're playing Call of Duty in general, but a lot of people don't seem to understand that. Half the time I make that mistake, but with the way Modern Warfare is currently constructed, that's a tip that you should definitely follow. If you look on your screen, look at my engagements, I have a lot of multiple enemy engagements, but that's because those guys are likely following the tips that I'm giving you guys. They are rotating with their teammates, they are sticking with their teammates. Your chance of survival will shoot through the roof. It will increase if you rotate with your teammates. No, you don't have to have your finger up their butts by any means, but at the same time, you want to stick by close enough to where you can pretty much overwhelm an enemy that just might be bold enough to cross into territory on his own. Lastly, and I'm fully expecting to be crucified when I say this, but it's in the game, it's there, so do what you will. Take advantage of the safe space, especially if this is a map that you are still getting used to. Like I said, there's still too many safe spaces out here. Just find one that you can get yourself comfortable with until you find yourself getting accustomed to the map. No, I do not mean just sit there for the whole game, because especially if you're in a Shoot House 24/7 playlist, camping, believe it or not, might be just slightly discouraged, and that's why I find myself in that playlist more than I find myself in any of the core game modes, because I'm just overall sick of the camping. But find yourself a safe space, temporarily find yourself trying to get used to the map, and then get adjusted from there. Other than that, I would not make camping a full-time habit, but that's just me. And with that, that's going to just about do it for my helpful hints on how to get better at playing the Shoot House map. Once again, if you found this information helpful or useful and you're not already subscribed to the channel, if you could please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and turning on all post notifications if you haven't already, so that you do not miss a beat from me when I drop these videos. I'm glad that I could upload this for you guys. I look forward to uploading more content. As always, this is your boy Rob James, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.